focused till you came around, came around. All this time, you're the only reason I'm not chasing highs, chasing highs.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have another meal prep video for you. Super excited to show y'all these meals today. One is the Kung Pao chicken with the Asian cauliflower fried rice that I'm going to make, and then the new meal is actually just chicken noodle soup, which I made one recipe a long time ago, but I don't know if any of y'all watch Sam Oscaril, but we do, and she made some really good fresh looking chicken soup the other day, and Charlie loves a really good chicken noodle soup, so I decided to go ahead and make that this week. Instead of using the egg noodles in it, I am going to use my Fiber Gourmet pasta, just one bag of the rotini noodles that I ordered, and then along with that I am going to go ahead and make the corn muffins to go with it, because I think the soup is only going to come out to 1 or 2 points per serving, and I always like to have the corn muffins if I have like taco soup or whatever, so I feel like it will be a good pair to go along with the chicken soup. I think Charlie's going to eat crackers with his. I probably will not eat the saltine crackers with my soup, but he'll eat crackers and he'll eat corn muffins as well. And then I am going to try a new dessert that one of my followers sent me on Instagram. It is basically using a sugar-free yellow cake mix with bananas, and I can't remember what else goes in it, but it looks super simple, so that's going to be our dessert this week. I'm not exactly sure what the points come out on that as, and I'm also not sure if I'm going to do it in like a bread pan, which is kind of the picture that it came with, or if I'm going to do muffins. We shall see what I'm feeling once I get to it and once I plug it into my app and see, you know, if it comes out to where I can do 12 muffins and they're 2 points each or something, then that might be what I end up doing. And with all of that being said, let's jump into the video. But first, if you haven't already, click that red subscribe button down below and that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. And also follow me over on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle for you here on the screen as well. And as always, I have a really great Facebook group. There is a direct link down in the description box to that Facebook group. Highly suggest that you join it. It is called Finding Our Way. This is the icon of it if you are searching for it. And I co-admin that with Roy at Recipes with Roy and Bree at Balancing Life with Bree. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, I am ready to jump in the shower. I wanted to go over everything that Charlie was going to prep today. So we have chicken breast. This is going to be for our Kung Pao chicken and the chicken noodle soup. Obviously, he will dice up 3 of these chicken breasts into the small little pieces, and then the other 3 we will use in the chicken noodle soup. I think the recipe only calls for 2 chicken breasts, but it's 0 on the blue plan, so I am going to just go ahead and use that 3rd one instead of putting it in the freezer. Plus, I think I'm going to use 8 ounces of noodles. It calls for 6, so we're going to do, you know, a little bit extra. It will be fine. The carrots and the celery are both for the chicken noodle soup as well. He just needs to like dice these up into small little pieces. We just went ahead and got these little baby carrots just because they're peeled, they're easy, and he'll literally just have to chop them into pieces instead of trying to peel the big carrots. I think that's always a pain to do. I got my tomato for my sandwiches. We have 4 bell peppers. He went to Walmart and they did not have like any individual red and yellow, so he got this bag plus 1 green one, which is fine. I'm completely out of my peppers, so sometimes I do like to have 4 to replenish my stash. I have my blueberries here that I will wash in the vinegar water. Most of this other stuff he will wash in the vinegar water and stuff too whenever he is prepping it. The pineapple, of course, and the cantaloupe he will dice up as usual for my fruit bowls. So that is all of Charlie's prep, and I'm going to hit the shower, and I guess we will roll into his prep now.
Let me feel your love again, 'cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Take me to a different place, just the 2 of us, and we can stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night, everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand I'm away from you. I didn't think I'd make it without you by my side. Let me feel your love again. Just the two of us and we could stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do. Staying up all night, everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be the someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. Be with you. Be with you.
Okay guys, we are ready to put together our fruit bowls. I have my pineapple, my cantaloupe, my blueberries here. Let's throw them together, get them in the fridge so that we can get to cooking. It is already 2 o'clock and I am just now getting started for the day. So we are going to have another late Sunday, but let's get this done real quick. Completed my fruit and yogurt bowls for the day, and then I also have my tomato over here and my diced peppers. I did make 7 containers of fruit as usual. I only made 6 containers of yogurt because I have one left from last week. Since we went out for lunch on Saturday, I did not eat one of my fruit bowls, so Charlie ate that today, but he does not eat the yogurt with it. So I have that yogurt left. I will eat that for lunch tomorrow and go ahead and take care of that one. That's another reason I only use like one little pink lid instead of green, because the other one is pink. So I know that one of those 2 pink ones needs to be eaten first, to go ahead and get rid of that older one, although it came out of the same container, but you know what I'm saying. Anywho, I have my diced peppers here for my breakfast and my pizzas, and my tomato, which I think I already mentioned. So we're going to throw this in the fridge, and then we are going to get started on the chicken soup, because that's going to be something that takes a while, because that chicken's going to have to boil on the stove for a while. So while it's cooking, then we will go ahead and work on the Kung Pao chicken at the same time. Okay, so real quick, one other thing that I'm going to prep before I start on the chicken soup is some more of my turkey burgers, which I'm just going to use this lean ground turkey breast and 2 tablespoons of this Thule's Southern Style Barbecue Seasoning. This can be used on pretty much anything. I think that it has a great spicy flavor. It tastes really good mixed with the turkey on the turkey burgers. I ate my last one for lunch today. So Charlie will just grill these. This will make 4 turkey burgers, and then we will put those in the freezer. It makes it really simple for me to just pull one out. I kind of warm it up in the microwave, and then I do put it in the skillet for a couple of minutes on each side, and then just put it in my wrap, dry toast the wrap, and then I have the perfect little very low point turkey burger, and I can pair that with my fruit, and then I like to have some sweet potato fries with it. So that's like my little weekend treat. So I'm out of those. He's going to go ahead and grill those up for me, so I was just going to show y'all that real quick. So I'm literally just going to put my turkey in there, and then 2 tablespoons of the seasoning. Or you can use Mrs. Dash if you don't have this. I do like the Mrs. Dash tomato basil. And then there's another one, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think I like the tomato basil one better. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of that, and nothing else. You don't have to put any salt and pepper or anything. They kind of come out perfect. I'm just going to mix it up well and then form it into 4 patties. So yeah, for lunch today, I told her, I was like, you know, I think I want a turkey burger. I have one left in the freezer. And he's like, oh, that's going to take too long. He was making pizza. And normally I would make a pizza, but I didn't have like my sweet potato fries yesterday, and I just like to have those on the weekends. I said, oh, I think I can make my turkey burger. And sweet potato fries faster, so we kind of had a race. He still had like 4 minutes left on his pizza in the oven, and I already had my lunch prepared. So if you prepare these ahead of time, you can make a really quick lunch. Just saying. Always prep. Now, they are a little bit, I would say, on the dry side because this is the 99% lean ground turkey. Of course, you could use ground beef if you wanted to, like 96.4 or something. I think the seasoning would be good in that as well. But I just always like to have these on hand because I just love to make those little wraps. It's so good. It's so easy. I prefer the wrap even over a bun. I'm just not a big, like, soft bread person, I guess, like that. Like, I love bread, but I don't like to eat like buns or regular bread, which I know sounds weird, but I prefer to have these on the wraps. The wraps are 1 point. The turkey's 0 that I put on there. The only thing actually that counts any points is the cheese that I put on there. It's 2 points for the cheese. If I use the regular cheese. If I use just like the thin provolone, and I just use provolone cheese. If I use the thin, then it's like 1 point, but we're out of the thin. All we have is regular at the moment, so I think it's 2 points for a slice. And then a serving of the sweet potato fries is 4 points, so that ends up to be a 6 point lunch. And I will have my fruit with it. It's extremely filling, especially when I eat my fruit with it. Anyway, that's pretty well mixed up. I'm going to get out my little hamburger thing and then show you how I make my patties. So I just like to use this. The trick is just spraying it with olive oil spray so that it doesn't stick. And we are just going to try to measure it out as easily as we can. For towels and some olive oil spray. And I do spray the lid and the bottom of it. That's why I put the paper towels under it so it doesn't get too messy. Okay, so I'm going to take this out 4 ounces at a time. Let me move this over here so you can see. So I've turned that out to 0, and that was a 16-ounce package. So roughly 4 ounces is what each patty is going to be. Again, on the blue plan, this is 0 points. On green, you would need to calculate whatever the points are. Okay, there's that one, and then I'm just going to take my little thing. And it's going to make a perfect little patty. I put it on here, and it'll be ready for Charlie to grill. I'm just going to go through and make the other 3. And I think I will respray because those are sticky. Easy as pie. And then Charlie will just grill these up, and then what we will do is just let them cool completely, and then I just like to put them in an individual bag in the freezer, and then that way I can just pull one out whenever I'm ready for it. So I'll show you once he gets them off the grill. So here are my finished turkey burgers that Charlie just got off the grill for me. They are looking delicious. I'm just going to let these sit here and cool, and then we will pop them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and then they will be ready to go for me to make a quick lunch in like 10 minutes. So super excited about that. And this seasoning that I used in here, the Thule's, I think I forgot to say it earlier, but you do have to email to order the seasoning if you're interested in it. I think it is $6, and I will have all of that information listed in the description box below. Okay, I am ready to get started on the chicken noodle soup. This is the recipe that I'm using. This is homemade chicken noodle soup. This is from budgetbytes.com. I will have it linked down in the description box below, but it looks really good. We saw Sam Oscuro make it on her channel, and I went to her channel and she had the link to the recipe there, so that's where I got this. It's basically, it does call for 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You know, I'm going to leave that out. I'm just going to use my olive oil spray. It does call for a medium yellow onion, which I am also leaving out. We are going to put a little bit of onion powder in there just to give it a little bit of flavor. 3 cloves of garlic. I'm just going to use 3 teaspoons of my minced garlic. And then we need, it says half a pound of carrots. This is just one of those bags of the baby carrots just diced up. And then it calls for half of a bunch of celery. And we had a little container of it that we bought that was pre-cut at Walmart. So Charlie just chopped that up. It calls for 2 chicken breasts. bone in on here, but I'm not going to do that. We just have 3 chicken breasts, obviously boneless, that I normally use, that we are going to put in there. On the blue plan, chicken is 0. Obviously on green you would need to weigh it and count that chicken. Then we are also going to have some dried basil, some thyme leaves, a bay leaf, and some dried parsley. And yeah, just some fresh pepper and salt. I'm just going to use this pepper and this salt here. And noodles. It calls for 6 ounces of egg noodles, but instead I'm just going to use this whole pack of this light rotini from Fiber Gourmet. And there is 8 ounces in here. I'm just going to go ahead and use the whole bag. And so I put all of that into my recipe builder, and we come up with 2 points per serving if you divide it into 6 servings. So anyway, super happy this is a low point meal. And then I will have 2 of my corn muffins with it, and I think those are 7 points for the 2, so it will end up to be a 9-point dinner for me. Charlie will have some crackers with his because he likes to eat the saltine crackers in the chicken noodle soup, but I just like to have the rolls with mine, and then I will be good. We're also cooking it on the stove, not in the crock pot. I'm going to use this huge pot here, so I'm going to get it set up. I think the first thing that we have to do, it says to do the onion and the garlic and the olive oil. Obviously, I'm not doing onion, so I will just put the garlic in for just a minute, and then go ahead and add in the carrots and the celery and saute those. And then we will add in the chicken breast and 8 cups of water. I was fixing to say it doesn't call for chicken broth, it calls for 8 cups of water. So all of the flavor is going to come from the chicken. So hopefully this turns out good. I'm not used to doing a recipe without the chicken broth, so we'll see. Like I always say, I typically pretty much follow the instructions unless I'm trying to cut some points whenever I first try a recipe. But you could probably add in some chicken broth if you wanted to, just to be on the safe side. But I think with 3 chicken breasts we will be good. So let me get set up and get the garlic and everything going and get busy. And then this pretty much has to boil for quite a while, for over an hour. So I'm going to cook it here on this middle eye on my stove, and then that way I can work on my Kung Pao chicken here. I need to move my candle. I'm a candle person. I always have candles sitting around from TJ Maxx at that. Haha. Y'all know me. So I'm going to get busy and be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to spray this pan with the olive oil spray. Again, it calls for 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You can use that if you want to. I just don't feel like it's necessary since I'm not sauteing onions. And then we're just going to put in 3 teaspoons of this minced garlic. We are not going to saute this very long, just for a minute or so. You never want to burn your garlic. And then once this gets going, then we'll add in the carrots and the celery. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add in the carrots and the celery. And then I'm just going to saute these while I get everything else together. Get my seasonings and stuff measured out. Okay, so this has been sauteing for several minutes now. We're going to go ahead and add in everything else. It says you can go ahead and add the chicken breast to the pot. So we're going to add all 3 of those. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. And then it says to go ahead and add in your salt and pepper and your seasonings. It says to do like 2 or 3 teaspoons of salt, which almost seems like a lot to me. Y'all know I like to heavily season stuff, but we're just going to do about that much. And then we'll just do a couple of teaspoons of pepper. And then I have measured out my basil, my parsley. I did a teaspoon of onion powder. Thyme leaves. I think that is all of this. I'll go ahead and sprinkle this in. And then I have a bay leaf I'm going to add in there. And then it calls for 8 cups of water. So I have 8 cups here. You just got to go for it when you're pouring water in like that, or else you make a mess. And I'm actually going to add a little bit more. So like 2 more cups, just because I am doing 8 ounces of rotini instead of 6 ounces of the egg noodles, and I have a little bit more chicken. So I'm going to turn the heat up now so this can come to a boil, and then once we kind of get it to a good rolling boil, we're going to put the lid on and just let it simmer for, I don't know, at least an hour, probably longer. Y'all know me, I want to make sure this chicken is nice and cooked all the way through and will shred like butter. I used to always make my chicken on the stove like this before I started doing it in the crock pot, but the water boiled over and it messed our stove up, and it was right at the beginning of COVID last year, and it took us 2 or 3 months to get our stove top repaired. So I'm always afraid of the water boiling over. So I almost thought about doing this in the crock pot, but I thought it would be easier just to go ahead and do it in this big pot on the stove. So I want to make sure that it does not boil over. So I'm going to keep a close eye on it. Plus I will be making the Kung Pao chicken here while that is cooking. And I also spilt my salt everywhere. Okay, so we're just going to put the lid on, bring this to a boil, and this will be something that we just kind of come back to in a little bit. Okay, so before we start on the Kung Pao chicken, I thought I would go ahead and make the corn muffins that goes along with the chicken noodle soup this week. So for that, I'm going to use 1.5 cups of this Martha White hot rise cornmeal. You can use any self-rising cornmeal. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of egg whites, and then basically 1.5 cans or 21 ounces of the sweet cream style corn. Now you can just use 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 can of corn, and like 2 tablespoons of egg whites if you wanted to make these lower in points, but you know we like to bulk everything up a little bit, and I have the points for it, so I am going to kind of do 1.5 times the normal recipe, which is what I typically do. So in this bowl I have 1.5 cups of the cornmeal measured out. Get my corn open, and then I'm going to get my scale, and we will weigh it to 21 ounces. You can just eyeball it too if you want to. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I weigh it. It just depends. It's more accurate to weigh it because this corn, the cream style corn, does have points in it. Okay, so I have my corn open, and like I said, we're going to do 21.5 ounces, which 1 can should be roughly 14.75 ounces. Of course, this is only coming out to 13.7. There's always a couple of little pieces left in there. There we go, 21 ounces exactly. So I will save that. I don't know what we'll end up doing with it, but we shall see. And then we're going to do 3 tablespoons of the liquid egg whites. And then I'm just going to mix this up well, and it'll be ready to portion out into our 12 muffins. Okay, I'm just going to spray my muffin tin with the Baker's Joy spray. And I do like to spray each one good so that it does not stick. And then I'm just going to use my little ice cream scoop and just kind of eyeball it and portion them out.
We go to New Jersey, your icing, I'll be worried. You said it was nothing, but I know you get buried in the sorrow of us, in the sorrow of us.
Okay, these are going to go in the oven at 400 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes. I think that mine usually takes right at the 15 minutes, and then they should be done. Okay, here are the finished corn muffins. I just pulled them out of the oven. They are nice and browned. I cooked them for exactly 15 minutes, and I think they are perfect. So, anywho, gonna move on to, I'm gonna do my bacon and eggs and stuff real quick before I start the Kung Pao chicken. I never filmed that. If you want to see how I make my bacon and eggs, then watch one of my Saturday vlogs, grocery haul videos. I always show how I make like 1 portion. But it's just kind of hot and messy making 5 portions. So I'm going to get that out of the way while this chicken soup is boiling. I think I want to wait and make the Kung Pao chicken once the soup is completely done. So anywho, I'm going to take a break from the camera real quick, knock that out, and then we will be back. Alright, we are back here to check on our chicken noodle soup. As you can see, a lot of the liquid has dissipated, which kind of worries me once I put the noodles in. So I actually think that I'm going to add a little bit more water. But I think that our chicken breasts are done. Which one way that I can always tell is if it just kind of starts to fall apart. That's kind of what I want to see. and obviously no pink areas. And obviously you can get a thermometer, but I like to always usually overcook everything, but I can tell that that is done. So I'm going to go ahead and take the chicken breast out, and now we have to put the pasta in, and then we will shred the chicken and put it back in. But I feel like a lot of the water has dissipated, so I'm a little worried that that's not enough liquid. So I'm going to add some more water to it, just to be on the safe side, because I'm going to add 8 ounces of pasta to it, so it's going to absorb quite a bit of the water. And if I need to add more seasonings, I will, but I'm just going to turn that on high and bring that back up to a boil, and then we will put the pasta in for 7 minutes. Okay, so our water is boiling. We are going to go ahead and add in the 8 ounces of the Fiber Gourmet Light Rotini, if you can see that. And this is basically 2 points per serving. And I'm just going to set the timer here on the stove for 7 minutes. And then we'll add the chicken back in. And then I've literally just shredded up the chicken with the tongs over here. I didn't even have to like get my forks out or anything. So it's very well done. I love it when it just shreds like that, barely touching it. Alright guys, we just did a little taste test. I did go ahead and add in 1 can of chicken broth off camera, just because after looking at the recipe again, it called for like the bone-in chicken breast, and I feel like that bone, you know, would give it more of a good chicken brothy flavor, and I didn't think it had enough. So I just put 1 can of low sodium chicken broth in there. Charlie just came in and he taste tested it and he likes it pretty well. Again, he's the one that loves the chicken noodle soup. Not that I don't like it, but Charlie really loves some good chicken noodle soup. So we are going to go ahead and put our chicken back in, and it is pretty much done. We're just going to let it cook for a couple more minutes and portion it out into these 6 portions. And I've already got the rolls done. I did get my breakfast made, and then the only things that I have left to make is the Kung Pao chicken. One reason I decided to wait, I was going to do it while this was cooking, but I actually need like 2 or 3 of these burners on the stove to kind of do it the way I like to, because I usually do like the fried rice, and then I have the vegetables in a pan, and then I do the chicken in a pan, and so I didn't feel like I had enough room with this big pot on the stove. So we just got all that other stuff out of the way. Now we're going to make the Kung Pao chicken, and then we will make our dessert, which should be pretty easy as well. I'm all about it being easy today. And the Kung Pao chicken is a very easy recipe to make. So there, I think that's looking really good. It tastes good. Charlie likes a little kick to it. That's from the pepper in there. He said it tastes kind of like the Caraba's, what is it, Mama Mandola's?
Yeah.
Chicken soup. I think that's what it's called, if y'all have ever had that. So that's Charlie's favorite soup. He always has to get it. Oh, I guess I need to take this bay leaf out. He always has to get that soup every time we go to Carrabba's, which we don't really go there a whole lot, but occasionally we do. I don't get the chicken soup there because it actually kind of upsets my stomach, and it makes it to where I really can't eat my meal. Okay, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and cut that off, and we are just going to let this simmer for 2 or 3 more minutes and then plate it up. Okay, I am ready to portion out the chicken noodle soup. I think that it has turned out fabulous from what we have tasted so far. The seasoning is perfect. I'm glad that I went ahead and put in that can of chicken broth. I just got to thinking about the bone-in chicken that I didn't use, and I thought, you know, it needs just a little more flavor. So anyway, that does not change the points on it. It still is 2 points per serving on the blue plan. So we are just going to portion this out into 6 portions.
Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find, I'm standing right here. I know that I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you.
Alright Alrighty, here are the completed bowls of chicken noodle soup. It is going to be a very delicious hearty meal. I don't know if y'all can tell how full those are, but they are super heavy. I just divided that out. It is 2 points per serving, again on the blue plan. And then we will have the corn muffins with it. I will have 2 of them. They are 3 points each, but with Weight Watchers math, they do roll up to 7 points whenever you have 2. So this will be a 9-point dinner, and I guarantee you it will be very nice and satisfying and hit the spot this week. So super excited about this meal. Charlie's excited because the last time I made chicken noodle soup, all of the noodles absorbed all of the water, and it was like, what was it like the last time? It was funky, wasn't it? There was like no liquid in it. That's why whenever I saw that all the liquid had dissipated before I even added the noodles, I knew I needed to add in some more liquid. So that's why I did that. And then again, I added the chicken broth that the recipe didn't call for, just to give it that extra little flavor. So it is very good the way that it is. Super happy with it. We will see how it reheats and stuff this week as well. But gonna put this away, and now it is time to make Kung Pao chicken. Alright, I am ready to start on the Kung Pao chicken. So I have my diced chicken here for this. Basically, I'm just going to salt and pepper it, cook it in a skillet until it's pretty much done. And we're going to add in some ground cumin, chili powder, and the Kung Pao sauce. That's what really makes it good. We're going to use this broccoli stir fry, which I love to use this stir fry for the Kung Pao chicken. I think that it pairs well with it, and it's like a nice blend of vegetables that Charlie and I both like. And then for the fried rice, this is like a huge bag. Charlie said they didn't have any of the small bags. Normally I like to use 3 bags of the cauliflower whenever I make the fried rice. Charlie said this is the equivalent of 4 bags, so I'm going to use like 3/4 of this bag. I'm just going to roughly, you know, pour it out or whatever. And then to make the fried rice part of it, you're going to need the fried rice seasoning mix, some soy sauce, an egg, and some minced garlic. So I'm going to get started. I'm actually going to put these in a bowl with a little bit of water and steam them in the microwave, and then I'm going to transfer them to the skillet and just kind of let them heat while I cook the chicken. And then we will mix them into the chicken after I get the chicken and everything done. So let's get busy. Okay, we are going to get started on the chicken so that it can get to cooking. I'm just going to spray my pan. I'm going to salt and pepper the chicken, put it in, and salt and pepper the other side as well. Of course, as I always say, season to your taste, to your liking. If you like more or less of any seasoning, you can adjust any recipe to your taste. Y'all know we like it spicy around here, so. So we'll just let that chicken get started cooking and come back to that. And we're going to go ahead and put the rice cauliflower in this pan, or in this pot, I should call it. I'm going to just spray the bottom. One thing I did do was kind of break the cauliflower up before I opened the bag. Otherwise it's in like a big chunk. Again, I want to use about 3/4 of this because what I want is like 3 of like the small bags. Okay, and then I'm just going to salt and pepper this, and I'm going to put the lid on and just let this soften up. And give it a little stir. We'll come back and kind of break those up in a little bit. And I'm going to put the lid on that to kind of hold that steam in there. And turn it down just a little bit though. So while the chicken is cooking and everything, I'm going to go ahead and start measuring everything else out. So for the Kung Pao sauce, I want to do 14 tablespoons, which 2 tablespoons is 35 grams. So I'm going to do 35 times 7, which should be 245, I think. So let's see here, 35 times 7 is 245 grams. So, and it's almost exactly a cup. But I still just go ahead and weigh it out every time. This is the only thing that's really adding points to the recipe. There we go, 246. Perfect. 247. It's alright. So there we have our Kung Pao sauce. Now we also need an egg. I'm going to go ahead and crack the egg into a little bowl. And I think 4 tablespoons of soy sauce for the cauliflower fried rice. I'm going to go ahead and get that done as well. Stir my chicken. It actually doesn't take long to cook this meal. I also need to get my stir-fry vegetables out and get those in this other skillet over here. Let me do that before I do the egg. Okay, so over here I'm going to go ahead and add in these stir-fry vegetables. I did heat them in the microwave for like 5 minutes. And you don't have to put them in the skillet. You could just soften them up in the microwave, but they're not completely done, and I just feel like it gives them a little more flavor. Cooking them like this, I'm just going to salt and pepper them and put the lid on and just let those cook basically until the chicken's done. And I'm going to check my cauliflower. See, it's softening up quite nicely. Just a few more minutes on that and we will be ready to add everything to it. And now back to our chicken. It's cooking up pretty good. Few pieces left that hasn't cooked yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my egg in a bowl so that it will be ready for the fried rice. And then we need 4 tablespoons of just the low sodium soy sauce. A tablespoon is 15 milliliters, so I'm just going to change this to milliliters and we're going to do 60 milliliters. Our chicken is cooking up nicely now. We're going to go ahead and add in the ground cumin and chili powder and 3/4 of the Kung Pao sauce, and then I'll add the rest once I mix the vegetables in with it. So I'm just going to add in some chili powder, some ground cumin, again just season to your taste. If you don't like these, you can just leave them out altogether. We like that extra spice. And I'm going to turn the heat down on the chicken at this point, and we're going to add about 3/4 of this cup of Kung Pao sauce. Again, I will add the rest once I'm going to mix the vegetables in with the chicken. And that's really just going to have to cook for a few minutes. While that just kind of cooks on low, I'm going to do the fried rice. And then we will probably be ready to add the veggies and the chicken, and this meal will just about be done. Okay, so the fried rice is definitely softened up and about done. It's getting brown on the bottom. Turn the heat down on it. But we are ready to go ahead and add in the 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. I add that in. We're just going to do 1 teaspoon of garlic, and we're going to add in the Sunbird fried rice seasoning packet, or any brand would be fine. I'm sure I just have always used this brand. I like it. And we can find this at like Kroger, Walmart, or at Publix. Sometimes the Kung Pao sauce is kind of hard to find. Usually Walmart has it, but Charlie did find it at Kroger this time. So basically, I'm just going to mix this up really well, and then we're going to push the cauliflower to one side, and we're going to scramble the egg and then mix it in. If you wanted this to be vegan or whatever, then you could just completely leave the egg out, but I do think that it gives it more of that, you know, authentic fried rice taste. My veggies a quick little stir here. And we're going to take our egg, and we're just going to pour it here and scramble the egg and then mix it in. And it doesn't take but just a minute to scramble it. And that's it. That egg is done. We're just going to mix it all together. I'm going to go ahead and cut the heat off because it is pretty much done. I don't want it to burn. And just let it sit for just a little bit. There's still some cauliflower down there I didn't get. Okay, so my stir-fry veggies are done. I'm just going to go ahead and pour these into the chicken mixture. And I'm going to mix this up well and add in the remainder of the Kung Pao sauce. And you have a delicious 2-point Asian meal. And then we do like to pair this with a spring roll and a couple of pot stickers, which when I set everything out, I will show you those so that you see the brand that I use, but I'm sure you could use any brand. Just be sure to scan it and see what the points are. There's some little mini ones that I see some people using, and you get several of them for like 2 or 3 points on the pot stickers. I've never seen those in our stores though. But I feel like this is a pretty hearty meal, so Charlie and I are both really full whenever we have this with the 2 spring rolls, and with the 1 spring roll and the 2 pot stickers. 2 pot stickers are 3 points, and then the 1 spring roll is 3 points as well. So this will end up to be an 8-point dinner. So the way I'm going to plate this up is I'm going to put the cauliflower rice down, and then I'm going to put the vegetables and chicken on top of it. I will leave the other half of my container empty, and then that's where we can just set our little spring roll and pot stickers whenever we go to eat it. So this is done. We will be ready to plate up in just a minute. Okay, we are ready to plate up the fried rice. Cauliflower fried rice. And honestly, you cannot tell that this is cauliflower. Highly recommend it. If it tasted like cauliflower, I'm sure Charlie would not eat it. We're just going to portion this out into the 6 containers, and then we're going to portion out the chicken and veggies right on top of it. Okay, we got the rice divided. Now we are going to do the same thing with the chicken and veggies. And it's just going to go right on top of the fried rice.
There's no one other than you who can make me lose my mind. You start me up like no one has ever could. You fuel my fire. What are the odds we end up loving this? Spending every minute together. I found it quite odd, quite lovely. You start me up like no one has ever could. You fuel my fire.
Here is the completed Kung Pao chicken with the fried rice, fried cauliflower rice that is underneath that. Y'all just saw me plate it up. This comes out to 2 points per serving on the blue plan. And then this is the spring rolls that we like to pair it with. I get a lot of questions on it. The brand that we like, it is Chung's vegetable spring rolls. These are 3 points per serving, and I think that does include one of the little packets of sauce. The serving size is actually 2 spring rolls, but I only do one of them for my serving with one little packet of the sauce. I count that as 3 points. And then we do 2 of these Thai pie, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, chicken pot stickers, and it is 3 points for 2 of those. This has some kind of sauce packet in it as well, but I don't use that. I just use the little sweet sauce that comes with these, and I just put it on my pot stickers and on my spring roll. Very good. But Thai pie pot stickers, Chung's spring rolls. 3 points for each of those, so that's 6, and then 2 points for the meal, so an 8-point dinner on the blue plan. Alright, we got one more thing to make, and that is our dessert. Alright guys, so for my dessert today, I'm going to try this banana bread that was posted by Hannah Banana. It was sent to me by one of my followers, Rachel I think is her name, and basically it is using a box of the sugar-free cake mix, 3 large ripe bananas, 2 eggs, I didn't get my 2 eggs out, a dash of vanilla extract, so I'm just going to do like 1 teaspoon and a sprinkle of Lakanto monk fruit sweetener, so I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of that. If you cut this, I'm going to try to put it in this little bread thing, although I feel like this looks kind of small, we shall see. I'm sure it will fit and be just fine. If you divide it into 8 slices, it comes out to 5 points on the blue plan, and if you divide it into 10 slices, it is 4 points, so I'm thinking about doing 10 slices. That will be a slice for both me and Charlie each night this week, I think. Yeah, that'll give us 5 nights of desserts if Charlie likes it. Sometimes he will eat my dessert and sometimes he won't. He loved Roy's brownies last week. He ate one every night. Of course, he slathered it with his ice cream and butterscotch chips and stuff, but he still enjoyed the brownie. He usually does not eat my cookies, but we will see how this banana bread turns out. So I'm gonna get my eggs and get the bananas mashed up and get this in the oven because it has to cook for like 40 minutes. It says at 40 to 45 minutes, 350 degrees. Oh, so she sprinkles the monk fruit sweetener on top. I got you. That kind of makes sense. That may be better than mixing it in there. So maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, let me get everything together and we will get this in the oven. Okay, we are ready to make this banana bread. We are going to get our 3 bananas in here and get them mashed up, which when Charlie went to the store, he bought me 3 ripe bananas specifically for this recipe and 5 green ones, so that I would have some good ones for my afternoon snacks at work. So I'm just going to mash these with like this potato masher. I think it will be easier than with a fork. Okay, so I got the bananas mashed. Let's move y'all a little bit closer so you can see. I got the bananas mashed in there, and then we're just going to put all of the cake mix. I have my 2 eggs. I went ahead and put those in this bowl so they would be ready to go in. And it says a dash of vanilla extract, so we will just put a dash of that. We're just going to mix it up really well, and it will be ready to go into the bread pan, which I have just sprayed with some of the Baker's Joy spray. It actually smells really good. I like these sugar-free cake mixes. You know, I like to do the chocolate one with the Diet Dr. Pepper. I love those. And I thought about doing these into muffins to where they would probably be like 3 points each, which is what the other one comes out to. But I'm going to do it in the bread pan so it seems like banana bread. So it's looking mixed up pretty well. So we are just going to put it into the bread pan. This has to cook for like 40 minutes. So I'm probably going to go ahead and like set my food up and do my ending for my video, and then I'll just insert a clip of this when it's done, because I don't want to wait that long to finish everything up. I would have put this in before I did the Kung Pao chicken if I knew that it took so long to bake, but I did not really look at that. And then she says to sprinkle just a tad bit of the monk fruit sweetener on top. So that's what I'm going to do. Which should kind of crystallize and give it that nice little sweet coating. Alright, there we go. We're going in 350 for 40 to 45 minutes. Alright, we are pretty much done for the day. I do still have my banana bread in the oven, which after you see this clip, I will show a clip of the banana bread so that you can see it, but it takes 40 to 45 minutes to bake, and I didn't realize that. So I wanted to go ahead and get everything closed out so that we can put everything away for the night. So over here, as usual, we have our 7 containers of fruit and our yogurts to go with that. That will go with my sandwich at lunch. And then here are the bowls of chicken noodle soup. These come out to 2 points each on the blue plan. And then I will pair that with 2 of the corn muffins, which it's 7 points for 2. It's 3 points for 1. But y'all know how Weight Watchers math is. It does round up to 7 whenever you have 2 of them. And then we have the Kung Pao chicken. This recipe comes out to 2 points per serving on the blue plan again. And then I do like to pair that with 1 spring roll, which is 3 points, and 2 of these Thai pie pot stickers, which is 3 points. So this will end up to be an 8-point dinner. And then I went ahead and made my scrambled eggs for the week and my 10 strips of bacon. And like I said, I have the banana bread in the oven. Right after this, I will show y'all a clip of that. Overall, I feel like I have completed another successful meal prep, guys. So here's the banana bread. Okay, so here is the banana bread fresh out of the oven. It is super hot. I checked it a while ago and it kind of like stuck to my fingers. Just FYI, I have a bad habit. Like I'll just touch the middle of something and it kind of burnt my fingers because I don't know if it was not done enough or what. I left it in for 43 minutes total. I think I checked it at 40, but woo, it was hot. But anyway, it smells divine. Like the whole house smells delicious. Even Charlie's like, it smells so good. So super excited to try this. Again, if you slice it into 8 servings, I think it's 5 points each. 10 servings, which is what I'm going to try to do, is 4 points for each slice. So, looks so good. Look at that. Perfect. Thank you, Rachel, for sending me this recipe. I am so excited to try this. Alright guys, so I'm going to try my hand at making this lemon ginger water again from Shailene Johnson, or Shailene, I don't know how you say that. I will have the link down below, just like I did last week. So I made it last week, and I do feel like it helps with bloating and stuff. However, I don't know if y'all noticed on the screen, like I got a lemon seed in there, and we kind of had to dump it out, put the stuff back in, and I felt like some of the cayenne pepper was still stuck in the glass, so I added some additional cayenne pepper. Huge mistake. It was so spicy I could barely drink it. I took it to work with me Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and by Wednesday I could barely sip on it because it was literally burning my throat. And we tried to water it down and everything. Like, we would just fill my iron flask up like halfway with it and then top it off with water. We added some more lemon juice to it to try to dilute it. No, when it says a dash of cayenne pepper, it's literally a dash. That's all that I'm putting in today. So I'm fixing to throw it together. Let me bend you down here. So in my blender, we've got 3 or 4 cups of water, 4 cups of water. And then in my pitcher over here, I also have water. I don't know why Charlie put the lid on it. He got my water together for me. I have the juice of 3 lemons in here. We decided just to juice it in this bowl. That way if we get a seed, then we don't have to completely take this apart. And then I have a few pieces of ginger here that I have chopped up. So I'm going to take and just put my ginger in. I'm going to put the lemon juice in. Basically this is going to make like a concentrate. And then we are going to strain it over this water. And now a dash of cayenne pepper. And let's see if I can do a dash. There we go. That's the dash. If it's not enough, then next week I'll add a little bit more. But after last week, I'm like, a dash will do it. So I'm just going to blend this up really well on high for like a minute, and then we are going to strain it into this pitcher. Okay, that is done. Like I said last week, I love this blender. It's got this little spout right here, so I don't actually have to, and Charlie's the one that pointed that out to me. I was taking it completely apart. I'm just going to strain this into the water. Hopefully it will all fit. And hopefully it will be easier for me to drink this week. Because y'all saw, I literally just did a dash of cayenne pepper. And this, I probably will still mix it like half and half with water. But I'll let you know in the weekly vlog how this one turned out compared to the last one. Again, I think it's worth it to make it and to have it to sip on, but woo, it was burning my throat. Alright, that is done. So I'm going to put this in the fridge, and we'll just test it this week and see how it goes. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining us for another meal prep video. I have Mr. Nico here to say goodbye because I don't know what he was doing this morning whenever I was getting the stuff out for Charlie to prep, but he wasn't in here like he normally was. And I know that y'all all like to see him, but he was asleep on top of the cat tree. I think he's a little salty with me now because I made him get up to come do the video. And now he's interested in all the food, so he's mad. But anywho, I just wanted to thank y'all for sticking with me with another meal prep video. Hope that you get some good ideas. I hope that you try some of these recipes. Please leave me some comments down in the comment section below. And if you like this video and found it useful, go ahead and click that like button. It helps grow my channel and get my video out there for other people to see. So we appreciate y'all very much. Isn't that right, Mr. Nico? You can get up here and say something? No? He's a good boy. The girl cats would never let me hold them like this. Especially Maya. You can't hold her. Nico, he's still kind of a baby. Yeah? He's like, you woke me up for this? I did. Because everybody loves you, Nico. Okay, say bye. Say we love y'all. Let's blow him a kiss. You blow a kiss? Nico thinks I'm crazy, y'all. I love you, Nico. He's like, please, is it gonna end? Alright, we'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks, guys.
Lately I've been wondering just what is love? What is love? I don't know. No one ever